now that we've actually been able to do some of this remote work stuff, is like we can look at what are the best practices of on-site, what are the best practices of remote, maybe how can we make on-site better through some of the things that we learn through remote, how can we make remote better through some of the things that we do in the same space together. And like questions is one of them that I noticed. I went to a presentation on a topic that my church was hosting. There was going to be a Q&A part of it, right? And so normally, you just be like, raise your hand, ask your questions or whatever. Well, what they implemented was they were like, oh, like here's a Q. I think they threw a QR code up there you could take a picture of, and it took you to a website that you would just put your questions and comments into, that the hosts were like watching as they came in. So then they could combine questions or be like, okay, we're going to follow up with this person like separately. And so I was like, oh, that's a cool, like, that's something we would do in a remote situation that they applied to an on site situation that made it better. They were able to kind of stay on their agenda timeline and not get caught up in like maybe somebody over getting nervous when they go to ask their question and they start fumbling over themselves, or they keep going on and it's hard to like be like, okay, or like, hey, that's not really an appropriate question to ask in front of it's like it took care of like so many things that I've seen go wrong in those types of situations.